You're listening to Strange by Nature, your guide to the strange, weird, unbelievable, and improbable wonders of the natural world.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for being here today. I'm Kirk Mona, and joining me are Rachel Gimza and Victoria Thompson. We're all naturalists who together have scoured the world for weird and wonderful wonders, just to please your mammalian brain's desire for novelty. Isn't that nice? Let's do this. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of the show. Of course, during the intro, we have the regular introductions where we talk about Rachel being on the show and Victoria being on the show, and of course, I'm here on the show. But there is a special guest with us today, Mr. Brett W. Sieberer. Say hello.
Hello and good evening to all of the Strange by Nature podcast listeners.
Yeah.
You know, if Brett is here, I'd say that could only mean one thing. But, you know, Brett can also appear as a guest on the show. But usually what it means is that it is time for us to wrap up another year of us having done the show. We were just discussing before we hit record about how many years we've been doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of breaks our brain to realize that this episode is the end of the 4th year of the show. The next one you hear will be the kickoff of year 5.
That's an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah, it's been really fun. Here? So I guess before we go any further, just thank you to everyone listening. Like, we wouldn't do this without you because we'd just be sitting around a table talking to each other, I suppose. But,
yeah,
you know, we wouldn't be doing this podcast if it wasn't for our amazing audience from around the world, many countries around the world. And it's just so cool to see all the thousands of people that like to tune in and hear about weird nature stuff. So we appreciate you all an awful lot.
Truly, thank you all so much.
We sure do.
Now, I know what you appreciate is weird nature, and we've covered a lot of weird nature and science stuff over the last year.
Yeah, you have.
For those of you who are newer to the show and don't know, for the final show of our each year, which wraps up in March, because that's when we started the show, we have Brett here on, who's a fellow naturalist, and Brett basically quizzes us. Some of it is quiz material about things that
I just remembered the game
on the show this year.
How did I forget about the game?
How did you forget about the game?
Played, I'm sure. And I'm guessing, Brett, you just have some random, usually there's just some random naturalist trivia, stump the naturalist kind of thing as well.
I mean, yeah, I held pretty tight to the shows from the past year, right. As well as, you know, things that would come up on a pretty regular basis that were not necessarily topic related, but seemed to work their way into multiple shows. So,
all right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the part of the show where we just kick back, relax, hand the reins over to Mr. Brett and say, what you got for us? Take it away.
Well, again, thank you for having me. It is a privilege to be a part of this and to continue to be asked back to do this. Honestly, I keep just assuming at some point you will just forego this, and I would be okay with that. I would understand.
We love
it too much. Again, congratulations as you wrap up 4 years and you get ready to start your 5th year. That's the kind of thing that not only commitment but just discipline to doing the research, scheduling the time, putting the podcast together, getting it posted every week, every week, not every month, not every other week, every week. And so that's amazing. You should all be proud of the work you've done on this. A couple things, you know, that come up from time to time when you're doing the show, often are these lists, these mythical lists that you have. Like, that's a topic I'm working on.
Not mythical. They are physical lists.
Well, exactly. I know. And so before we get into some of the other questions, I would love to know, just ballpark from each of you, how many topics are on each of your lists? Topics that you haven't yet fully fleshed out, fully taken notes, brought to the, Victoria said immediately, I can tell you.
I could tell you too.
Wow, no, I can. I can.
Well, that's what I'm asking for you to do. So thank you.
So I don't know if everybody knows about this, but like, we're able to. It's wild. There's a lot of trust in our list because we have a spreadsheet that we share that has like the schedule and like what the topics are after we record them. We put like the topics
like
and everything.
Marketing information.
But in addition, we each have a tab that says Kirk's topics, Victoria's topics, and Rachel's topics. It's all such trust of
right there.
Don't look at each other's topic lists. So we could
4 years, and I've never clicked on those tabs.
I haven't either.
I have no idea what how you even have them.
That's impressive. To find out about this now, that there's this shared spreadsheet that everyone is just taking some sort of solemn oath to not delve into the mines too deep like the dwarves once did. I again, another commendable feat.
I think.
Well, look, when we sat down to do this show, part of the idea was trying to sort of one-up each other or come each week with a topic that makes the other naturalists go, wait, what? Like, how have I not heard of this? And obviously some weeks, it's things that we have heard of, or at least one of the two other people will have heard of. But it's really fun when you bring something and people are like, I've never heard of this in my life. And that's part of the challenge we wanted to have, bring stuff obviously the audience doesn't know, but also stump each other. That's part of what makes it fun.
Well, what we're all waiting for is for the two of you to bring the same topic to the show one week. That's the moment.
We've come close.
Yes, you have. You have come close. The entertainer in me wants to stage one just to have it happen and do it well. I mean, it'll be amazing when it finally does happen. But if it somehow doesn't ever happen, that would be tough. All right, so what are the numbers?
Since you asked, Brett, my current list of unused topics has 95 entries in it.
Wow. That is almost 2 years.
They're not all of equal quality.
Oh my
Kirk looks stunned, just stunned.
95?
Okay. Do you remove your topics?
Some have been on for a while and will probably.
She went to school again, you two. What have you been doing?
Those are 95 unused topics?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's several years worth of topics. I feel so behind the ball.
I think I do too.
I'm at I have 17 unused topics.
17, huh?
Mine. Okay, so I have a total of 161 topics, but I don't delete the topics after I've done them. So, and it's not organized. I cross them out, but like they have. I cross them out.
I love that
but
we all do it.
I think
so
I'm like at least. There's at least 40. I was counting, and there's at least like 40 of those that I have not covered. And sometimes like I'll find something and it's not on the list at all, which is a wild thing.
I've got a bunch that are they've been there since day one.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were things I wrote down, and then I keep on finding new stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is even better. I got to do this one or that one, or maybe I haven't quite found the right angle on it yet to put on the show. But they will all probably make their way there at some point.
I fully am looking at mine right now, and I'm like, oh, I still have something from like Cell 6. Like that was like an initial burst of thoughts. And it's still there.
Cell 6? Is this off the spreadsheet? Cell 6? Or was this some time you spent somewhere?
This is off the spreadsheet. I also technically...
When she was in Cell 6, yeah.
Technically, the second ever topic I ever thought about is also still on this list, not crossed out. So...
Wow.
All right, well...
Mine is now organized alphabetically. But so I don't know for sure how many of the topics are like really, really early. But I'm pretty sure that there are a bunch on there that I wrote down a long time ago and I've just never gotten to.
Your future patients are going to be ecstatic at just how detail oriented you are. Gosh, the lucky souls that find themselves in need of medical attention under the care of Victoria Thompson will be in good hands. Oh. Wow.
I'm just waiting for a patient to be like, your voice sounds so familiar.
That would also be funny.
What a good
That'd
day.
Be amazing.
That would be weird.
Yeah.
All right. So last thing here before we get into, I guess, finding out more about all of you, our friends to the north would love an update.
Yeah.
We heard Australia and Canada were kind of vying for that second and third spot. I know there was some dark horses in the race. I haven't heard an update in a while. You might not have that at your fingertips. If you do, that would be great. But if not, something in the near future to at least continue to stoke the competitive fires that are international relationships, I guess.
All right, well, here's what we'll do. I can sort this. I have the data right in front of me. I can sort this in many different ways. I think I'm going to go over the last 12 months because that is what we're talking about. It's the end of the. So where'd we end up at the end of the year?
Yeah.
Here? United States came in 52%. United Kingdom still holding second place at basically 12% of our audience. The big thing was Canada and Australia. Yeah. It is so painfully close.
Wow. Here we go.
66.66% versus 6.62%.
Wow. 0.04%.
It's a difference of just a few downloads here. Canada has edged out Australia for year 4. Our friends in North, very happy.
Native land. That's a win for Canada.
Yeah, like 30 more downloads than you would have beat Canada. So that's how close it is. Like, tell your friends, get a few friends.
That's doable, Australia. That's doable.
Yours. Honorable shout out to New Zealand as well. I love our Kiwi friends down there, pulling in a very respectable 4%. And given the population size difference in these countries, 4% is
that's a good chunk.
Very impressive. Way to go, New Zealand. That's
solid.
Fantastic.
Solid. All right.
After that, Ghana and Netherlands are tied.
That's fun to hear. Again, it had been a while since you'd shared those numbers, so I'm glad we were able to get to that.
Yeah.
And now we shall get to my prepared, we'll call them, I guess, questions.
Okay. All right.
In an effort to learn more about all of you, to see how tied you are.
That's part of what this is about.
To the topics that you have presented to us over the past year.
Do we remember our own topics?
And so I start. Go ahead, Rachel.
I actually just this last weekend I was preparing a topic to cover, and I was looking around and someone had sent me something and I was like, wow, that's really cool. This is amazing. And I looked in our schedule spreadsheet to make sure that we hadn't covered it. And it turns out this particular topic was the Manchineel tree that Kirk covered in episode 11. And then I went around and I was looking at different topics.
There's a lot.
And there's a lot. And I went around and I was looking at a different topic and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I should talk about that. And it turns out I covered it in episode 34. So
outstanding.
So my memory is minimal.
Nice preface to the question coming up here.
Well, yeah, I guess it's good that I'm sticking to just topics of the past year, but even that, can be tough to wrap our heads around at times. I really believe this first one is a bit of an ease in to what may come later. It is a would you rather, and it ties directly into topics covered during this past year. So to all of you, would you rather parachute in tandem with an angry beaver strapped to your chest down into wherever you see fit, or step on 1,000 snakes for science? Which one?
Oh, I'm parachuting with a beaver.
Wow, those were both great topics.
I'm parachuting with a beaver.
That was quick. That was very quick.
This is a beaver that is
angry.
Yeah, but it's strapped to my chest. Angry. And I'm assuming the face is forward. It can't turn its neck that far. And as long as my arms are
how do you know how far a beaver can turn their neck?
A dangerous assumption.
That's a dangerous assumption. God. That is close to your jugular vein.
Right, those teeth would just make quick work of the soft flesh of your neck.
Absolutely, but I'm thinking it's facing forward. It's like a baby Bjorn type situation with its face.
I was just picturing it's in a baby Bjorn. Yeah, little goggles on,
tantruming away on the way down to the
parachute my way in.
Oh my God!
and it's slapping you with its
tail. Absolutely. I'm going to have bruises.
But you said angry beaver. Angry. That's the one.
Well, that's really... it. I didn't want it to be a docile, half sleepy, just enjoying the ride beaver. No.
Okay, I've got my answer. Okay, I'm going to go the parachuting with the beaver as well.
And why?
Just because I have no interest in stepping on 1,000 snakes.
Could I interest you in 500 snakes? What about 500 snakes?
See, I think skydiving would be pretty interesting in and of itself.
No, thank you.
But only if Rachel and Victoria come with. We could do we could film it. We can put it up on the social media for all of our friends.
It's on the bucket list.
We could film it. Wow, this just escalated quickly.
The end of the show. Could also be the end of the show if things don't work.
Be the end of the show.
Here's my thing though. This special baby Bjorn thing it's going to be in. I'm going to have some sort of chest armor, neck protector thing on so that it can't, harm me. That's the goal.
All right, Victoria, how about you?
Well, I had also a question about protective equipment if I were, say, stepping on a lot of snakes. Big thigh-high leather boots.
I guess
Crocs.
Yeah,
Crocs.
I think he was just using regular tennis shoes. I don't think, or was he wearing rubber boots? I think he was wearing rubber boots, but they still bit through the thing at one time.
They were venomous snakes, were they not?
Yeah, they were. He was gently.
I just don't mess with venomous snakes.
He was gently stepping on them 1,000 times, I would like to say, and he did find out that he was allergic to the anti-venom. So that was what a great scientist.
Okay.
Gently stepping on snakes. Many people are.
That's pretty common.
Didn't want to hurt
How do
snake.
You assess the amount of pressure to classify it as a gentle stepping on a snake? I don't know.
You don't break any bones.
Yeah, you don't break anything.
You or the snake?
I'm not that great with heights. I mean, not as bad as some people I know, but I really never ever want to go skydiving.
So Victoria, tell me you're backing out of the skydiving trip that Rachel and I have all booked already.
I am. Yeah. I'm gonna go with the snakes. I'd rather take my chances.
Yeah.
Rubber boots or thick leather, sure.
Agreed. Yeah. I don't like getting on planes to begin with, but then jumping out of a working plane seems just... I can't even comprehend what that would look like.
I wonder if I don't love flying, but I wonder if jumping out of a plane would make me feel more secure about flying. Like, what? I got this. I've jumped out of a plane before.
See?
So flying after having successfully jumped out of the plane.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not generally afraid of heights. That's not like an issue for me. Within reason.
Sure.
You get above about 1,000 feet, and they'll give me pause.
I mean, I used to be a lot more scared of heights. Now, the only time that I really get nervous is when I'm on a ladder. But part of that is because the
ladders are terrible.
The environmental learning center that I work at, we have a high ropes course, and I have to be comfortable, and I have to be able to show the kids that it's not scary when you fall. So when I do teach it, I have to show them what to do if you fall. So I'm 30 feet up being held in.
Yeah, 30 as opposed to 10,000.
Well, yeah. But that is something that has helped me with my fear of heights, because I used to be a lot more scared, and now that since I've been doing this, I'm more comfortable with it.
Yeah, and I spent years working on high ropes courses as well, and I was like a monkey up there just running around. So
yeah, I've only ever done one once, and that was not pleasant for me.
Well, we've learned some things here, and again, I kind of felt like that was a pretty easy would you rather. There was fairly low stake. I mean, 10,000 feet coming down with an angry beaver, probably not low stakes to some, but as opposed to stepping on 1,000 venomous snakes, Rachel and Kirk have chosen the former. So, all right, well, there was an episode this year, moving on to question number 2, where Victoria talked about animals of different species interbreeding and reasons why and results of and so I have a list here in front of me of animals that are created when two other species mate. And being the professional naturalist that you all are, I want you to be able to tell me if I'm making this up or if these are real.
Okay.
Oh, man.
All right.
Okay.
Now,
game.
Of course, in this, I tried to remember. I did not go back and listen to that episode specifically. I remember some of the, everyone talks about ligers. Sure, we all know that. Fine.
Sure.
I can't remember some of the, how many of the specifics Victoria mentioned. So some of these might be straight softball. Some of them might just have you looking at the, kind of like, I don't know what to say.
It would be embarrassing if Victoria misses the ones that she talked about. So.
It would be. It would be.
Yeah.
No pressure, Victoria. No pressure.
All right. So animal number 1, the poompard. Is the poompard a real animal?
The what?
Poompard.
The poompard.
The puma and a leopard.
The poompard.
Is that a puma leopard?
Is it? That's what I'm asking you.
Ooh, it could be.
Oh.
I mean, puma leopard, I think, is what we're looking at. The poompard.
Poompard. That sounds so fake.
I mean, that's also a mountain. That's just puma's another name for a mountain lion, also for a cougar. Would you go for the cougard?
Oh, no. I think that it's I think it's
leopard, though.
I don't know if they could. I bet that. See, I keep going back and forth because technically, like pumas, cougars, mountain lions, they're the only ones in their like genus and family. Like, there's no. They're the only ones left in their direct lineage. So I don't know if they're able to procreate with a different.
Okay, but a tiger and a lion are quite
different.
That's
true.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's true.
The fact that they're based on, I'm going to say true as well, just based on the fact that we know other cats can breed together. So I've never heard of this, but it wouldn't shock me.
I love the name Poopard.
I'm sorry.
I
can't get over how dumb that name is, so I'm going to say no.
So we have two yeses and one no. Now, the tricky part, too, is you all can see me on a screen right now. So, like, the poker face has to be spot on for some of these. Otherwise, the jig is up. This one is indeed real. Kirk, spot on. A puma and a leopard hybrid is a poompard.
Cool.
What a stupid name. I love it.
Animal number 2. A wolfen. A wolfen.
A whale dolphin.
A wolfen.
Wolfen.
Can you spell it, please?
Can I
spelling?
I'm not going to give you any spelling. I'm pronouncing it very well, I believe. Wolfen.
Ooh, see, that could be a clue that maybe there is no spelling because it's made up.
There is no spelling.
Oh, man.
Even made-up words are still spelled out.
Made-up word.
A dolphin
and
a
whale. Pronunciation makes you wonder if it's, I guess.
Or
could it be a wolf and something else that I'm not thinking of?
Yeah. That's what I thought. It could be a wolf. My first thought was wolf, actually, not whale.
Wolf and what, though? Not a coyote. Not a dog.
Not a dolphin.
No.
I mean, if it was a wolf and a dolphin, I'm going to go with false.
I think it could be a
mythical
whale
animal
and a dolphin,
with the head of a
I'm going to
wolf
go
and the
true
tail
for
of a wolf.
funsies.
Oh.
I mean, dolphins are whales.
Exactly.
Yeah, dolphins are. So I need a little more. That's what bothers me. It's not like a sperm whale and a dolphin or a killer whale and a
No, it would
dolphin.
be like a smaller whale. Like it would probably be. So there's a couple of different small whales,
beluga.
like a beluga whale, and it's close enough. There's some porpoises that are pretty close.
Yeah. What's holding me up on this one is the name. Like, I feel like they could have done better and been more specific.
I mean, probably.
I don't have a problem with some of those interbreeding per se, and maybe producing some sort of viable offspring. The question is, would you pick such a dumb name?
Ooh. Okay.
That's how I felt about Poompard, and look how that turned out for me.
But those are specific species. Whale is kind of like saying fish. It's a combination of a fish and a fish.
Well, I mean,
a naturalist will step in here. Excuse me, whales are not fish. But anyways, proceed.
No, I know. That's my point. Fish is like a big group. It's like, and so choosing whale is kind of like choosing fish.
Oh.
You know, without saying like a combination of a muskie and a northern, you're like, it's a fishern. Because it's kind of a combination of a fish and a northern.
Kind of like I covered at one point, I don't know if it was this year, but it was the sturtle, mixture between a sturgeon and a paddlefish.
Oh, yeah.
Brett's crossing that one off his list right now.
My hands are right here.
Okay, we got to choose. I'm
going to go with no.
I think you convinced me. I'm going no
on this one.
It is a cross between a bottlenose dolphin and a false killer whale. The wolfen.
Wow.
The wolfen.
Wolfen. I don't like the name. No. But I accept that it exists.
Okay, which species of whale and dolphin?
Bottlenose dolphin and false killer whale.
That tracks.
I'll be honest, I didn't even know what a false killer whale was. I looked it up and I'm like, well, look at this. What a weird looking whale. Yep. Not fish.
Not a fish. That tracks.
I'm going to reveal a line from my list here. On my list, false killer whale. And then in the next column over, where I sometimes put notes, I have interacts sexually with other species.
I mean, dolphins
well, we
do
know
that
what's
too.
coming up on Victoria's topic soon.
There's a tease.
We definitely will have to hear more about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, dolphins
false
in general.
Killer was total tease.
One more here. The bobolink.
Ooh.
Bobcat lynx.
But bobolink is a bird.
I said bobolinks.
Yep.
Bobolinks.
I know, but it's so similar to. I don't like that it's so similar.
I don't like that.
Here's the
feel
thing.
Like
we got a little psychology going on. Would Brett choose all true ones and not even throw a fake one in there?
See, the problem is I also live up north where I know people who track bobcat and lynx, and I do believe that they can interbreed. Whether or not that's the name that they use, but I do think that they can interbreed.
Yeah. I certainly would believe that.
I would definitely believe they interbreed. The name, again, is just throwing me...
every time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sitting there looking all smug, Brett.
I know.
You are the professionals of running the podcast. I'm here just to, I guess,
rubbing it in.
Just check in from time to time on how professional we really are.
I guess, all right. I have no problem with them interbreeding, so I'm going to say this one is true.
You know what? Rachel talked heavily about, she seemed to know that these two interact, which I didn't necessarily, I didn't go digging a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I flat out made this one up, and I made it up because Kirk is such a bird nerd that I knew it would just not sit well with him to have
It does not sit well with me.
Also,
but the question is then, because I think they will interbreed, is what do you call it?
A bobolink. We've already coined it. It's done.
I think we just
we
came
named
up with
it.
that.
Yep.
Okay.
Now,
Brett, there was an animal that you did not mention that I thought perhaps would come up. That is, of course,
the Esquilax?
The Esquilax. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, Kirk, that's a mythical animal with the head of a rabbit and the tail of a rabbit.
I think it's the head of a rabbit and the body of a rabbit.
Body of a rabbit. Okay, sure. Body, yes. Tail. Harkens back to a Simpsons Renaissance Festival episode.
Okay.
Full disclosure.
Behold the Esquilax.
Yes, full disclosure.
It's just a rabbit.
I did have sturtlefish on this list here in front of me.
Yes.
Kirk, you nailed it. When Rachel said something, I was like, well, I'll just not mention that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that was a thing. That was a thing. Mm-hmm. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Yeah, I bet
I don't like sturtle. Sturtle sounds like a combination of a sturgeon and a turtle.
Doesn't it?
What really throws me off?
Which would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
A sturgeon with the shell.
I'm going to vote no on that one.
Oh. I mean, they already are so, like, armored, like.
All right. Moving on to question number 3. On this show, over the years, a certain highly praised, at least by all of you, award is none other than the Ig Nobel Prize.
It's so fun.
Well, yes. And so I thought it would be fun to know from all of you if I read a few of these scientific studies off, and I want to know if were they real Ig Nobel Prize Award winners from the year 2024 or not?
Oh, no. They're recent ones.
The whole list. Okay.
I know one of the topics we covered ended up winning last year. Do I remember what that one was? Maybe not.
Well, we'll see what Brett says.
All right. Number one, there was a study where 2 individuals were rewarded for repeatedly exploding paper bags next to a cat that was standing on the back of a cow and finding that it caused the cow to produce less milk. Real Ig Nobel Prize Award winner or not? Yep.
There's so much going on there.
There's a lot. There's a lot to think about.
Exploding paper bags.
Yes.
Next to a cat.
Next to a cat standing on a cow and then finding that it caused the cow to produce less milk.
Okay, so here's my problem with the study.
Where's the control?
You could maybe get a cat and a cow to do that once.
Eventually, the cat's just going to over all of
enough
that.
replication times to make an publishable experiment.
I'm going to say absolutely true.
It feels so silly. I want it to be true.
I think not.
I want it to be true, but I don't think it is.
Well, good news, Kurt. It is a real award recipient in the year 2024.
Yes. How many times did they pop the paper bag?
I mean, I could see barn cats hanging out on the backs of the cows.
Oh man!
All right.
Those cats will never trust people again.
Nobel? No, they won't. The second is it an Ig Nobel Prize winner award study concluded that male spiders often hang out together and communicate about issues with female spiders.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna
Is this a real Ig Nobel Prize or not?
I'm going no, because I don't know how they would how we would decipher whether or not they were communicating issues about female spiders. How would we?
We are not the scientists, Rachel. We are not the scientists.
We're the naturalists. I know, but
I know.
We still would have to be able to measure, or be able to tell that, they're doing this
what
thing.
they're talking about.
You was it last year? You talked about how we figured out that spiders have dreams. So if spiders can have dreams, then why can't they sit and talk to each other about problems with
I did a whole episode about spider communication.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
Which might be why Brett's messing with us.
Yeah.
I'm going to go false.
He's defending it awfully vigorously.
I'm going false.
Rachel's saying false.
Mm-hmm. I want to be proven wrong. It's my favorite thing.
I'd say true.
I think it's funny, so I'll go true.
This
not. I want to give Brett the point.
Was a study completely made up by me.
Yeah.
This was not something that is taking place.
Good job.
I thought it would be pretty awesome.
It would be really
next,
cool.
It would be wild to think that that's happening, but at the same time, if someone were to sit me down and tell me, I'd be like, well, maybe.
Yes.
Exactly the kind of story we would cover on the show.
100%.
Yep.
All right,
two more. You'll hear about it here.
2 more Ig Nobel Prize or nots. There was a study that was given a reward, long-running study, on how dead trout can swim.
What?
Long-running study on how dead trout can swim.
Dead trout can swim. I mean, I have reason to believe why this might be true.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
What reason do you have?
Well, just that, they are, if you think about electrofishing, as used for research, if you stimulate the muscles of a fish in an electric field, they will flap back and forth and swim toward the electric current. So I could definitely see someone doing some kind of study on, can you make dead fish still swim? That seems, if that's using electric currents, if that's what's going on, I could totally see that being a thing.
Uh-huh.
Unless,
judging by how straight Brett is trying to keep his face,
he's trying to keep a very straight face.
I just love listening to these somewhat scientific, conversationists. They're like, well, but if it was this, and if they were shocking the fish and they were already dead, it would make them, muscles and nerves and whatever. And I could see that. And
yeah, but like,
I mean, I've done it. I've used an electrofishing rig for research. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
The fish have no control over it. They just brings them right to you.
Yeah, but like, why would they decide that? Like, hey, let's see if these like if we already know that outside electric stimuli can like trigger that motion, even if they're alive or dead. But like, why would they?
Two reasons.
Why do we need
One
to know?
One is maybe they're trying to find out how dead can the fish be and still have it work. And second of all, the Ig Nobel Prizes.
Wait, time out. How dead can the fish be? Like, I don't.
How fresh?
How long can it be dead?
Understand.
Like, does it work? How freshly dead? Does it work a week later? Can you freeze it and it works a month later, a year later? Like that kind of thing.
How dead are they?
Which could teach us about.
I wonder if that's what they say about me when I go. Well, how dead is he? Is he dead, or just kind of dead?
Well,
mostly
we're going
dead.
mostly dead, a la Princess Bride, of course.
Wow.
Yeah.
God.
But I think that could be some interesting research actually about like nerve regeneration and how long things can maintain.
Sure.
And keep in mind, the Ig Nobel Prizes are for people who did improbable research. So
yeah.
It'd be a weird study.
Well, you've convinced me.
People do weird studies.
I'll go with
yes.
going no. Feels too silly.
Kirk, what did you go with? Did you say yes? Did you say no?
I say yes.
It is indeed a Ig Nobel Prize Award winner for the long-running study of how dead trout
finally
can
got
swim.
Something right.
Amazing.
Wow.
Do you know any details on what they were doing?
I didn't read too much into it. I was, as I was putting this together. Now, Rachel, you commented that you thought it was silly, or you wanted it to be true because it was silly. Boy, yeah. This next one. So a team of scientists were awarded for their use of chromatography to separate drunk worms from sober worms.
Ooh, I think I remember this.
My God.
I think I remember seeing this. It's true.
Said the drunk worm.
True.
That seems absolutely possible.
I am absolutely, and I want it to be real. That's so silly, and I vaguely remember something about cinematography, but I don't know if it's
chromatography, not cinematography.
Chromatography.
Yeah, chromatography, and maybe I don't know. It's been a while since I've looked at the list. I could be like completely
wrong,
all in, but I'm all in.
Yeah,
this sounds so fun.
Absolutely, why not?
I just want to know how one goes about deciding, or how do you decipher which worm is sober and which worm is in the bag? Is that like a vitals reading? Is that because they slime kind of to and fro and not in that straight line?
I think it's because I think it's easier. I think it's because you're the one that got them drunk.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like you have some
of them
groups
in
that
vodka
are
and some
soaked
of them
in alcohol
totally
and like, okay, go have a party. And then some that are not, and then you have them in two separate lanes and figure out what happens.
All right, it was absolutely a study, and I wish I could have been there for it because, God, I guess the
you have to get worms drunk on your own time, Brett.
The question is why? Why are we getting why did we want to know if we could, right? Decide what worms were drunk and what worms weren't. I don't know.
And I'm kind of picturing that they blended the worms up.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
I don't think
put them on the chromatography paper.
I think to get chromatography done,
I think they pureed the worms, I'm guessing.
Oh, yes.
Which takes away some of the practical applications of finding out people are... Can I have your fingers, sir? Hold on.
Wow.
Finger is
Luckily,
gone.
they already invented the breathalyzer test.
Yeah.
That's true.
Finger is gone.
Sir, have you been drinking? It's like, no. You don't have any fingers on your right hand. Well, I'm not a good driver.
Oh, man. All right. Well,
we don't do that.
We have now, I think, in a bit of the home stretch here, we have one final Would You Rather before the legendary game that has been played each and every year. It is coming. But before that,
okay.
All right.
Would You Rather? There was a topic this year that I was super excited about because my affinity for this food is high. And at the same time, it made me nervous to think that the same dust that I would lick off my fingers was being applied to mice to be able to see through their skin, to be able to see capillaries and veins and the such.
Yeah.
This was the
Dorito dust.
Cheeto
dust.
Was
it Cheeto or Doritos?
Yeah. Dorito dust.
I was Doritos, but they didn't actually use that. It was, it was just the same food color.
Yeah.
Right.
It's probably the same dye that's used in Cheetos too.
All right. So with that in mind, would you rather have your body coated in Dorito dust for the span of 2 weeks?
Oh.
Now, it is a firm crust. It is not something you can wash off.
And
in some ways, I mean, you can wear
crunchy?
Clothes over it. I think probably yes. Yeah, I think so. Yes.
Okay. So no
is it
sneaking
flaking
ever.
off on everything around us?
I'm sure it's probably getting a little bit everywhere. You've eaten Doritos and touched something and seen.
If we are hungry, can we just start like gnawing on our fingers?
These are some of the questions you're going to have to ask yourself if you choose to be covered in Dorito dust for 2 weeks, because the alternative ties into. There were a couple times that there was talk about beetles entering a body and leaving a body, and so what I want to know is, would you rather have the Dorito scenario play out, or eat a live beetle that once inside you will eliminate the tapeworm that is growing within, and then later you will pass said live beetle out? 2 weeks.
Wait, hold on.
That's right.
No.
I hybridized a couple
of those. Where did the tapeworm come into this?
You know what?
Listen, this is payback.
Right.
Because we talked about tapeworms.
All the time. If you have been listening to this show, tapeworms show up in the most unlikeliest of places, and I don't like it. And so, yes,
like you had intestines.
You had to eat the beetle to get rid of the tapeworm and then pass the live beetle. Which one are we doing here?
If we do we have a tapeworm in both scenarios?
No, you do not have the tapeworm if you're covered with Doritos.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, are you then translucent, or are you just covered in Dorito dust?
Oh, good question. When I covered this, I did say that it probably doesn't work on humans.
I mean, yes.
So,
but
I mean,
this is a would you rather
skin is too
scenario.
thick.
So, am I just covered in Dorito dust for 2 weeks?
I think you're kind of covered in dust. You're covered in dust. Maybe, in that first shower, there's some translucidity or whatever the word is.
That would be kind of cool to see. To see your own organs or capillaries.
2 weeks. There goes your bed sheets.
Right. Like when I was writing this question, I thought it can't be for a day or two, because they'll just choose that and pass on eating the beetle that's going to eat the tapeworm. But
look, I have 2 dogs. They would never leave me alone.
Right?
I would just be. They want to lick me all the time to start with, and I'm like, stop. I would be attacked by them for 2 weeks.
I'm a little worried about the urban wildlife I might attract.
Right?
Yeah. My cat would
on the
be
flip side, are we eating
time.
beetles then?
Oh, God.
I don't like that I have a tapeworm in the other scenario.
No, I'm sure you don't.
Oh, can you feel the beetle as it exits?
Oh, I'm sure you're going to feel it.
Probably not.
Like,
well, what if it comes out with, look, to be crude here, I mean, it's probably going to come out with other things, maybe some parts of tapeworm, but also with, when you would defecate, it would come out. You probably wouldn't even know what had come out.
Is it?
You might not. You're right. You might
beetle?
not. It's a big beetle. Yeah.
How big?
I mean, when you go to swallow it, it's going to take some effort. So.
Oh no.
I was picturing a small beetle.
Listen,
it takes an effort to swallow. Its
there
legs
have been several
mornings
where I am working out, just going about my business. And then what pops up, lo and behold, another episode about a tapeworm or some ungodly parasite that now I think I have. This is for all of the listeners.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Yes. The fact that it's a big beetle and there's a tapeworm at
Victoria
the same time.
has chosen the beetle. Victoria has chosen the beetle.
You look at any kind of lasting skin damage or anything from this Dorito dust?
I don't think so. You'll rinse it off and you'll be okay.
Okay. I think it would be a novelty. I work with children. I think they would find it funny. I could probably get some social media leverage out of this. We're going to go with the... I'll go with the Dorito.
All right.
See,
one for Dorito, one for the beetle.
I don't want a tapeworm. I don't mind the beetle having to be passed out. This the idea of having to also pass what I'm assuming you're going to say is lots and lots of a long tapeworm out my backside, like a piece of rope. No, thank you.
Like a piece of rope. There's a visual.
I hate that.
Yep.
I think it would probably break up.
Probably that's bad too.
Okay.
Unless the beetle eats all the tapeworm and then it grows much larger.
I hate that.
And then passing it would become a far more difficult scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's an added aspect to this that I have to think about because a lot of insects actually like. So I'm slightly allergic to some shellfish. And that can be a thing for insects as well. So, like, if I eat this beetle, am I, like, going to have trouble breathing? But if it's getting rid of
if you inhale too much Dorito dust, you'll have trouble breathing
You're
too.
right.
That is also not untrue.
But then if I want, like, a really good, like, a little snack, I'm just a little peckish, I could just lick my arm.
Oh, God. If I get a little peckish.
You just rub your hands together over your dinner and you get some little flavor crumbs.
That's unsettling. I didn't mean it to be that way. That's unsettling.
On top of your tacos, a little seasoning.
Ooh.
My
sound effects.
My cat would not leave me alone.
All right, Rachel, what is it? What are you gonna do?
I think I have to go with the beetle.
Go.
I have to go with the beetle.
Yeah,
she's
beetle.
Eating the beetle.
I'm gonna hate it. You feel it. Oh no. I hate it.
Well, that one you navigated that well. I mean, it was all over the place, and I'm glad I saw some squirming.
That was awful, Brett.
Well, good.
I hated that.
Good. And now. For maybe more awful, we have arrived to the portion of the quiz show I like to call Eat, Ride, or Jacket. If you are unfamiliar with this game, you're thinking like, wait. I play a game that's similar to this. Yes. That is not this one.
Mm-hmm.
I will list 3 animals, and you must decide which one you are going to eat, which one you are going to ride, and which one you are going to make a jacket out of. Eat, ride, or jacket.
So horrifying.
But it's so fun. This is my favorite game of the year.
Are
absolutely
as follows.
I'm so excited.
Number 1, groundhog.
Oh.
Okay.
Groundhog.
Recently, Kirk talked about why we do Groundhog's Day. They're cute. They're cuddly. They're on the list. Number 2.
Okay.
Number 2. A lion's mane jellyfish. There was lots of jellyfish talk this year.
The
lion's mane jellyfish has up to an 8-foot diameter bell, tentacles that are up to 100 feet long. This is a sizely animal. So,
sizely animal.
Groundhog, lion's mane jellyfish, and the animal that, when you all put together your show and you decided on a logo, the platypus made sense, I think, in the moment.
Don't say the platypus.
No. The platypus made sense in the moment because it was strange. But if anyone has been listening over the last year, again, I would argue there is a new face of the show when it comes to strange creatures. And it is none other than the star of our last question, the tapeworm. That is right. The third animal in this conversation of Eat Rider Jacket is a tapeworm. Groundhog, lion's mane jellyfish, or tapeworm. Which one are we eating? Which one are we riding? Which one are we making a jacket out of?
I don't think most of these are even edible.
Well, jellyfish.
No, I think you can eat.
That wasn't the question.
I think you can eat. I'm sure.
There are absolutely people who eat groundhogs. Now, here's the question: Did
you say grandma? I heard grandma.
No, groundhogs. Is the tapeworm a size? Is the tapeworm? If I choose to ride the tapeworm, is it human size? Like, is it going to be like dune worm size?
Yeah,
like
is there
the giant
effects going on
scaling?
Here?
No, there's no scaling effect. Now,
so we don't
be several
shrink down
feet long.
To be the size. Mm-hmm.
Can't we get in the magic school bus and like shrink down to be?
No.
Yeehaw!
I don't think so. No.
Darn. Okay.
Well, then you can't ride a tapeworm.
Oh,
I don't want to eat
what a dilemma we now face. What a dilemma we now face.
Oh,
I feel like we're being manipulated here.
Probably.
Well,
all right. I've made my decision.
I seem to recall.
Wow,
Rachel, in your episode when you talked about the jellyfish, I think you talked about how the problem was that it was tainting the fisherman's catch because this was an inedible jellyfish. Is that correct?
I thought it was poor quality food.
It was
not
poor
inedible.
quality. Yeah. So I've made my decision. I'm gonna ride the jellyfish.
Here we go.
I'm gonna eat the groundhog, and I'm going to make a jacket out of tapeworm.
Well, Rachel, you beat me to it because that's exactly what I was.
Yeah, Victoria.
Will the jacket be woven tapeworm? Will it be knitted tapeworm? What are we doing with the tapeworm here?
I think.
Well, you said you're a crocheter, right?
I am a crocheter, and so are you. We could crochet ourselves a nice tapeworm jacket, or it could be a fun little shawl.
What about like a rug hook situation where they're all kind of hanging off?
Well, there is there's all these like puffy jackets or whatever. What if we made like a puffy tapeworm jacket? Because I figure that it's a similar like feeling maybe once it dries out, like a leathery skin type material. So like a puffy.
I'm with you. I was gonna say the same thing for all three.
I just don't want to eat a tapeworm.
I'm not gonna do puffy. I'm gonna do more like a fringy.
That's way worse.
All kinds of little.
Why would you do that? That's awful.
Well, because it's going to be awful anyways. It's the tapeworm jacket.
Yeah, they
so why not go for something that's got some check it out. It's a tapeworm jacket.
Honestly,
I'm just not going to use them for just insulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think probably a groundhog doesn't taste too bad if you cook it right.
Probably fine.
It's
nice and
no.
I think you got to get it in the fall. If you get the groundhog in the spring, it's going to be real gamey,
skinny.
Not a lot.
No, fall.
Yeah,
good point, Brett. Yeah, fall groundhog.
This is a fall groundhog.
Has a nice marbling
been eating apples in the orchard.
Nice.
Nice marbling, yeah. It is the Waygu of groundhogs.
One of the more underappreciated meats of the animal kingdom, the groundhog.
That's just ground Wagyu right there.
It's what we like to call it Whistlepig around here.
Oh my gosh.
I think Whistlepig Waygu is probably marketable.
Whistlepig Waygu.
There we
That's
go.
it. That's the name of that's the title of your show. Whistlepig Waygu.
That's the title right there.
Oh, amazing.
Well, I saw recently that they're encouraging people to kill and eat nutria, which are an invasive species, large rodent from South America. Not that different, probably.
People eat guinea pig.
Yep.
So that's a thing.
Solid. Well, you've done it. You have run the gauntlet. Again.
Oh my
I just really didn't want to eat a tapeworm.
I didn't think anyone did, but I was just, I knew when I sat down to write all these questions, that was the first thing I wrote down on any question for anything was I am getting tapeworms into the Eat Rider jacket because I've heard enough. I've heard enough about tapeworms.
Make a few notes
there.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna have to have more tapeworms in the 2025 season here just for Brett.
Please don't.
I mean, yeah. You. By the way, I love that during the episodes when you're about to mention a tapeworm, usually, Kirk, you do say, "Well, Brett won't be real happy about this." However,
correct.
Yeah,
we're always thinking of you when it comes up, and now our listeners understand who we're talking about when we talk about the man who has tapeworm problems.
Who doesn't have? Well, okay, wait. Time out. I don't have tapeworm problems. At least that I'm aware of, but I have.
You have a problem with tapeworms.
There you go. Let's rephrase.
Problem.
I have problems with tapeworms, not.
I mean, I think
problems.
I'm with Brett on that one. I also have a problem with tapeworms. Like, I don't like that.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Brett, I hate to break this to you, but we have an episode that we've already recorded that I believe is coming out this coming week that you might find a little hard to take. It's not a tapeworm. It's not a tapeworm.
Oh, good. It's not a tapeworm. Could be any other of the thousands of parasites that are on this planet. Well, you know what? Thank you for the heads up. I apologize. I appreciate that. And thanks for having me on the show. This was a blast.
Absolutely. Thanks for doing this every year. It's a lot of fun. Looking forward to a lot of weird stuff in the coming year. I know often we'll do a topic and I'm thinking, man, this is coming back for Eat Ride Jacket.
Yep.
Yes, I do hope to be on the show again soon. I have a topic that I saw probably now 2 months ago that I've been dying to talk about. No one has talked about it yet. And so hopefully sooner than later, I will make another appearance and share what I find to be an amazing topic. So,
all right. Well, we'll see everybody then.
Thanks for coming, Brett.
Oh my goodness. Yep. Thanks for having me. You all do amazing work. Keep it up. You are awesome.
Thank you. Our listeners are truly awesome as well. Thank you for joining us this week with everything that it had to offer. And we'll see everybody next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Laters.
Thanks, everyone, for listening to today's show. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes drop every Wednesday, and we love sharing this strange world with all our listeners. If you would be so kind as to leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts, that would be great. It lets other lovers of the strange discover the show. You can reach us by searching for Strange by Nature Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. You can send us an email as well. Our address is contact@strangebynaturepodcast.com. If you want more information about the show, you can check out our website, strangebynaturepodcast.com, and you can support the show and get ad-free episodes at patreon.com/strangebynature. Until next week, get outside, stay curious, and embrace the strange.